Okay, let's do a recap first, right? Let's try to understand what we have learned till now. Okay, so first week I've given a course introduction wherein I've explained you as to what you can get out of this course, and I hope I've delivered whatever I promised. Next week, on week 2, we have discussed about what is design. If you remember, we talked about great people who has given definitions of design, right? We talked about the history of design, right? And then we talk about design principles. We talked about different kind of designers, you know. So we talked a lot in week 2, And then on week 3, we talked about UX design. What exactly is UX design? Then we also have looked into the history of UX design, right? And then we also looked into different elements of UX design. Okay, and then on week 4, we talked about design frameworks, right? We talked about human-centric design, user-centric design, design thinking, double diamond, right? I have also deep dived into design thinking framework. I also have solved, live a practical problem using design thinking. So that we have done on week 4. Week 5, we talked about user research, how to do a user research, and we talked a lot about user research there on week 5. On week 6, we talked about how to prepare for a UX job interview, where and give you tips and tricks about what type of question might be your hiring manager be asking you, right? Last week, we talked about how to prepare projects for your portfolio, which was an awesome session which we had, and I've given you a practical problem statement to work on that. And today is the last week. We are going to close this course today, and from here onwards, I will give you some tips as to how you can grow yourself as a UX designer, how you can become a designer which you can be proud of. Okay, so we have covered a huge amount of things, right? Cool. So next up, what next? What do you need to do now, right? You have gathered, the basic foundation knowledge is done. You have understood what exactly is UX from a fundamental point of view. What next? What should you do next, right? First, sharpen your saw. All right. This is one of the 7 habits given by Stephen Covey. If you love to read book, I can recommend this book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Go and read that book, and it gives you a 7 habits which you should build, right? And the 7th habit in that is called sharpen the saw. Now that you have learned the basics, don't think that you have learned everything, right? You always think that you have to sharpen your saw so that you can cut the trees well. All right, so you have to sharpen. Here the author, what the author wanted to say is, always try to learn something, always keep yourself educated. All right, always keep yourself up to date with all the informations available. That's what you have to do. Okay, don't stop by saying, okay, I have learned everything, now I should stop learning, or I should start doing something else. No, right? It, as I've told you, UX is huge, right? What I have done is just a tip of an iceberg. Okay, underneath that, a huge amount of things which you have to learn. So go explore some other things, just explore what are the things available, what are the other components which you have to learn about, right? The most important part of any UX designer is to learn how to take interviews. That is most difficult part, and it's not everybody's cup of tea, right? I've been saying this along. So please do that. Start learning about that. Pick up one element of UX design and start researching about it for a couple of weeks, right? And try to master that. That way you can slowly and slowly become good at UX design. So that's the mantra here. Okay, so next, find a mentor. It is very important that you should find a mentor, somebody who can coach you, somebody who can guide you, right? As I told you, that taking interviews are not everybody's cup of tea, right? Taking interviews takes high skills to take interviews. And your mentor, you have to find a mentor who can guide you as to how you can take your interviews effectively. And he need to be there, or he or she need to be there and look at you and how you are taking the interviews, and then he can give you feedbacks. This cannot be learned online. People can give you tips and tricks as to how you can take interviews, but you need to be coached personally. You need to be coached live. Somebody should be watching you. Somebody need to be guiding you. All right. So that is second. Find a mentor. Next up, practice makes a man perfect. Whatever you're doing, do it day in, day out. Make yourself master of whatever you're doing. Okay, so practice every day, do something every day, try to find out some problem, try to solve it, right? Try to use the design thinking process and try to solve whatever problem comes up in your life as far as design problems are concerned. So practice every day. If you're a UI designer, you love to design every day, right? There is a website called Daily UI Challenge, I think. Enroll for that. They will give you every day, they will give you challenges for 100 days. Do that, right? Practice. The more you do practice, the better you will become a designer. Okay, so these are the three things which you should do. All right. Okay, so next courses, exciting. So this I'm going to end. We are going to end this course today. This is the last week of the 8-week series. And what is coming up? What are we going to do next? After a couple of weeks, we are going to launch a lot of other courses. All right. Some of the courses are like a complete course on research. We have touched something about research in week 6 or week 5, I guess, but that is still part of, or we can say the basic of research. Here in this course, we're going to talk about everything about research. It will be a complete course on research, right? There will be courses coming in which will be talking about user interface design, right? A complete course on user interface design. Then there will be courses on complete interaction design, right? Then it will be on design thinking, usability, accessibility, information architecture, psychology for UX design. So these are the course which we are planning for in future. Okay, look at this list. I haven't covered every of this elements in the courses which I have given you. So the course which we are concluding today is just the basic, right? Now these courses will be an advanced level. All right. So now next what you have to do is be connected with me. I can announce these courses sooner or later through my social media channels. Okay, so that's it for this session. We don't have anything much to talk about. I'm going to open this for Q&A session and I want to talk to you guys a lot today. Okay, so let's open up this for discussion.